You guys come in a little bit because I'm going to take a photo. All right, go ahead. Start it off. You guys just jump in, all right? Go ahead,
Mario.
Sean, or whoever.
What's the likelihood that you ever unify with Boots or any of the other champions?
It's very likely. You know, I think 2025 is going to be a really exciting year for the welterweight division. I mean, we all, I feel like all of us champions currently, we have the same, you know, mentality. Like, we all want to fight the best. We all want to bring, you know, these big fights, you know, to the boxing fans. And yeah, you know, that's more than, that's very likely.
Okay.
Which of those unifications, you know, Stanionis, Norman, or Boots, do you think is the most realistic? Like, it could really happen next year?
I think all of them, you know, for sure. I mean, they all, you know, each of them, you know, has its own like issues, like business-wise. I think realistically, Stanionis would be the easiest to make. You know, he's fought, you know, with PBC plenty of times. But yeah, you know, I would love a fight, you know, with any of the other current champions.
Do you see Ennis as the toughest challenge out of the other three title holders?
I think he's the most difficult, like skill-wise.
Yeah, and what do you want to show in this fight? Obviously, besides just getting the victory, is there anything you want to show in this fight with Abel Mendoza? Abel Ramos, sorry, I got Brian behind me. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I just want to, you know, continue, you know, to show, you know, my skills and abilities. You know, to continue to show, you know, why, you know, how I got myself, you know, in the position, you know, to be a champion, you know, in the first place. You know, I was the interim champion, you know, that was elevated, you know, after Crawford had vacated. But yeah, you know, it was still, you know, everything that I put into the sport, you know, that got me into that position. And so yeah, it's just my job, you know, to move forward, you know, defend, you know, as a champion would, and yeah, you know, then like, ultimately unify with the other champions.
How do you think it'll be different fighting Netflix? Obviously, boxing is boxing, but you know, it's a new platform. They're obviously trying to have a bigger reach. You're fighting a card with Jake Paul. Outside of the fight itself, what are you expecting the rest of that to be like? The lead up to it and the promotions and whatever else.
Shit, honestly, I'm asking the same questions. I have fought with PBC since like early in my career, and I've always been with them. So this is the first time I've even fought on a different like a different network, a different promotional company. Yeah, so I'm very curious also, you know, because I know it's I mean, the main event is like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. It's kind of out of the ordinary. So I'm asking a lot of the same questions.
Well, okay.
I was just gonna say again, boxing is boxing, but we're seeing so many different things happen. I was at the UFC when they did at the Spear, and they had this whole light works and attractions to it. Here you got Mike Tyson, like you mentioned, Jake Paul, new platform, new people. Do you even care about any of that? I mean, obviously your fight is the most important thing, but do you pay attention to any? Are you interested, or you know, are you hoping for something that will elevate your career even more because you're fighting on Netflix?
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, just that exposure. But I feel like aside from that, there's not too much that I'm, you know, concerned with. Taking this, you know, just as another, you know, fight. Just doing what I always do. You know, I'm just focused on Abel Ramos, you know, not really focus on everything else that comes with it. So yeah, just making sure, you know, I'm looking sharp. I'm on top of everything, you know, during camp, you know, for November 15th.
Yeah, you know, I know you just mentioned you're not really interested in everything surrounding it, and you have a world title fight to prepare for. That's going to take up all your focus. But what do you think of just like America's fascination with that main event? Why does America care so much that a nearly 60-year-old retired fighter is fighting, you know, some influencer guy who's kind of famous for being famous? Like,
I think I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like a weird, like we're in like a weird stage for like boxing right now. I mean, like boxing isn't, you know, it's not on Showtime no more. It's not on HBO. Now, you know, it's going to all these, you know, streaming platforms. You know, I'm, you know, really grateful, you know, for the opportunity, you know, to be a part of, you know, like now boxing going to Netflix. You know, being a, you know, a brown, you know, Mexican and Mexican kid, you know, with native roots from San Antonio. You know, it's a huge opportunity. So, you know, so that's what I'm taking it as. You know, like who knows, you know, where boxing is going to continue to move, but you know, like nobody can deny, you know, the I guess the amount of people that that this fight is gonna reach, and to be one of the most exciting fights on this card, is something that I'm looking forward to.
Is it safe to say that you were on Canelo's undercard when you fought Ugas, then you had the big fight with Tank? You're kind of like used to all these big fights now. Like I'm sure when you first fought Tank coming like out to the ring, that was maybe a nerve-wracking feeling, and now you're just used to it.
Yeah,
is that safe to say?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you were at that Tank fight, the atmosphere was fucking wild. It was something though. I feel like I'm getting a lot more used to it now. I kind of never thought I would, but yeah, it's I take it for what it is. It's a blessing regardless. To be on those stages, those platforms, and just being able to do what I have always loved. Boxing has provided me, with the lifestyle. It has paid me back. For all those years I put into it.
What do you think of? We don't know if it's still going to actually come off, but Tank's fight with Roach and some of the fans feeling like, hey, Tank is so talented, we want to see him against a higher level of competition. Maybe guys, at 140 or whatever, or the top 35s.
Yeah. I don't know. Obviously at the time, fuck boxing fans. Everyone's always so opinionated. It doesn't matter. Boxing fans are just like so hard to please. It doesn't matter who you fight. All that matters is Tank is doing his thing. He's I feel like he has proved more than enough, and he's kind of getting to that stage where it's like Canelo. He can call whatever shots he wants. He can move in whatever direction he wants to move, and I don't think that was a bad fight. I think it's still a really entertaining fight. But yeah.
First off, thank you for your time, man. I appreciate it. So, of all the other champions in the weight class, they're all undefeated. Who would you say that you would want to take that O from the most?
Each of them. They're all current champions. For a reason. They all have something that that I want. They all have one of the other world titles. They're all great fights. They all present their own challenges. But yeah, I'm looking forward to unifying with one of them, if not like all of them 2025.
All right. Is there the fact that you're the WBC champ? That's kind of a pretty monumental belt, right? Very historic. Is there a certain pride that you have being not just a WBC champion, but a WBC welterweight champion, which is history of big names? Is there certain maybe added pressure that you have on yourself to carry that belt?
A little bit. I think I just try to not to focus so much on I guess just not to focus on that too much. I just I do what I do great, and to come in here I grind, I stay quiet. I just stay working, and and then these big opportunities, kind of these doors are opening, by themselves now, and I'm just I'm very grateful, and I'm just gonna continue on doing what I have always done.
All right, and one last one, sorry. You're from San Antonio, right? Why do you hate the Dallas Cowboys?
I was just never a Cowboys fan. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Talk about fighting in your home state of Texas.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a lot of fans from your home state.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I might not be a Dallas fan, but I'm still really excited, to fight, in that stadium and arena. I was there when Mikey Garcia fought Spence, and man, the fucking stadium is unbelievable. It's huge. I'm really looking forward to just being out there, fighting in front of my in front of everybody, back in Texas. It's not too far from San Antonio, so I have a good amount of people who are talking about pulling up. Yeah, like I said, this opportunity, this where it's at, everything is kind of just it excites me, and it motivates me.
You mentioned Ennis as being the most skilled guy out of the title holders. When you've watched him, what makes you believe you could beat him? What attributes do you have that you think you could beat Ennis if you guys ever get to unify?
I think he is an all-around fighter. He does so many things really well. I think just my style, I believe, you know, I have, you know, the skills, you know, to make him, to put him into a fight that, you know, like he's not, you know, so used to being in.
Is it with kind of being more, I don't know, just trying to reach for, you know, dissect from it, like more fundamentally sound to offset some of his athleticism, or
Yeah,
to get deeper with it? Yeah.
I think that that too, you know, I you know bring a lot, you know, to the table, you know, just as he does. He has a phenomenal jab, you know, so do I. I believe, you know, I have great timing, you know, I have power in both hands. I have speed as well, and you know, I know, you know, I have a chin, you know, and it's like it would you know take a lot, you know, to get me out of a fight, you know, with him, and it would be very interesting.
Can you talk about the evolution of your style? It seems like you're still carrying the things you learned from Virgil Hunter, but with your new trainer, with Bob, your feet are a little more planted. Like there's an evolution there. How would you say your style has evolved since you got to welterweight?
I think it has evolved a lot. You know, one thing, you know, Bob and Rich, they emphasize a lot is, you know, excuse me, sticking to, you know, what has got me, you know, to this point, and you know, even you know the things, you know, that, you know, I learned with like Virgil and everything. They emphasize all the time, you know. Virgil's a great coach, and I'm, you know, very grateful, you know, for all the years that, you know, we spent together, for everything that we accomplished, and yeah, you know, so it's just kind of just like taking things from, you know, from my journey, you know, from all the coaches and all the fighters, you know, I have had, you know, the pleasure of being around, and, you know, just, you know, continue, you know, to add, you know, to my style. I think we're doing a really good job at it right now, you know, just tightening everything up and just staying on top of, you know, what has, you know, gotten me to this point.
Are you starting to peak as a fighter, you feel like?
I think so. You know, I think I'm definitely at that point, you know, where these next few years, you know, I'm going to be able, you know, to accomplish, you know, the most in the sport.
So I don't know if I should know the answer to this, but if I don't, maybe there's some fans who don't either. Obviously, you're fighting Jake Paul card. How did that come about? Do you see yourself fighting in other events in the future, or was it just a great opportunity, or like how?
Yeah, I was back in the valley with you know, being a new dad with Omar and our baby, and then I got the call that, you know, about this opportunity, and yeah, and I was talking over with my manager, Luis de Cubas. It just made sense, you know. When I was over there too, you know, I was doing a decent job, you know, staying in shape, staying in the gym, you know, aside from trying to get used to, you know, all the like new father stuff. But yeah, we got the call about the opportunity, and of course, you know, like I said, boxing's going to Netflix. It's kind of like like I said, I think it's a weird time, but to be part of it, you know, needless to say, is I think it's huge.
So hopefully we'll see more of that, no? Because some of the other champions, they're on the zone, they're on different platforms. So if it just makes sense, good fights, good money, hopefully we can just make fights, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, that's how it should be. You know, as long as it's worth it, you know, for both fighters, you know, both fighters are getting taken care of. It shouldn't be an issue.
So I know there's a ton of options for you at 147, but could we ever see you go up in weight to like 154 or 160, or is that just?
Nah, I mean, I think all that is just a matter of time.
Yeah.
I mean, I turned pro at 124, right? So I mean, from where I started my career, you know, like with
122, Mara, but who's counting?
yeah, 122, you know, at 18 years old. Now I'm 29. I feel like it's only a matter of time, you know, before, you know, my body, you know, continues to fill out, and, you know, I had to move up. But for now, you know, my eyes and, you know, my focus is set, you know, on the welterweight division, and just accomplishing as much as I can here.
What do you think of you and Ryan next year defending his chance for the first time to actually become world champion? You in this big fight. What do you think of that?
If it's worth it, then yeah, I mean, yes. You know, like you said, I mean, you know, there's not a fight I'm willing to, you know, that I will say no to. You know, I mean, I have confidence in what I do. I have confidence in my skills and my, you know, abilities. Yeah, you know, I would look forward, you know, to defending, you know, my belt.
Do you think he's worthy of a title shot at this point in his career against you?
That's kind of like where it's like does he really deserve it? Yeah, I mean, if he comes back,
I know it'd be good money, but
yeah, it'd be good money.
Maybe more money than the other champions.
Yeah, it might. But yeah, hopefully, he comes back, he gets on his shit. He makes his noise, or he gets some of the fights he wants, and I mean, yeah, it's kind of just it's weird.
What's weird about it? Someone.
I don't know. I feel like everything. He fought the whole. I mean, the whole thing with Haney and them, him popping up dirty. I mean, regardless. I mean, as a fighter, like, I got my own views on that, but I mean, it's fucked up. Yeah, like I said, I mean, he cleans up, he comes back. He continues, to be successful. Yeah, I would welcome a fight with him.
can you elaborate more on your views on that as a fighter?
Yeah, I mean, just as a fighter, I mean, right, like we're putting our lives on the line every time we step in there. I think it kind of just shows more about your character than anything. Whatever it is that you're popping up dirty for. Yeah.
What do you think about him being sued by Haney right now?
I mean, I get it. I think it's a little extra, but I mean, I get it, right? Yeah, like I said, our lives are on the line, and yeah, they're kind of going about things in an interesting way.
All right, last question.
Are you at all saying with him that, because you mentioned, hopefully he gets back at some of the fights he wants, are you like, you want to see him do something before you let him fight for your title, or if he comes straight off suspension, he could get it next if everything makes sense?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my team, they're the ones that they like handle all that. They bring up fights to me. We just go the way that makes more sense. Yeah, I think I'm excited. I think Ryan Garcia, he's a damn good fighter. He has a lot of attributes about him, that are really great, like in the ring. It's just like what has happened, the past like year or two. It's kind of just like, I don't know.
You don't know if you want to be involved in that kind of thing? Or?
Yeah. I mean, I know I wouldn't, so, yeah.
Thanks, Mario.
Thanks, Mario.
Appreciate it, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.